Hello guys, it's Glammit here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a little old friend we have, guys, and a lot of you are going to have them unlocked and used and ready, and that is none other than Qui-Gon Jinn. We're not talking about the Master Qui-Gon, we're talking about the regular one. What is the difference, guys? I don't know. Right, so Qui-Gon has an Omicron, guys. Qui-Gon historically is very popular offensively, defensively. However, the Galactic Republic faction has a bit of an issue, guys. Let's just go through each of the characters and think, where would they be being used? JMK is obviously going to be taking Commander Ahsoka, is most likely taking either Mace or Kenobi, and is most likely taking normal Ahsoka. And then you just insert whoever else you want. You then have Queen Amidala, who I don't have down here, and she's going to be taking Padawan Obi-Wan. She's going to be taking Master Qui-Gon, and then potentially she's also going to be taking Barriss. Maybe she takes Luminara, maybe she takes Shakti, maybe she takes one of the other people, right? And then Padme comes in, and Padme says, well, what about me? And she doesn't have a team anymore because it's everywhere else. Then we have the issue, guys. You have Keller and Kbeq, and you have not Master Qui-Gon, just Qui-Gon, and they're basically fighting for scraps. Now, my question to you guys, and what we're going to be talking about this video, is which is worth investing in? Is there really one that's better than the other? Because Kbeq has a very, very good lead, very, very good character. Qui-Gon has a Grand Arena Omicron, but then outside of Grand Arena, he's kind of meh. Like, yeah, and that's kind of the big thing, right? And they're basically taking the same characters. Like, if we went over characters who would be left available, Ki-Adi-Mundi, yeah, because Jedi Knight Anakin, either Mace or GK, and then yeah, you're left with scraps, and that's kind of what we're getting at here, guys. So what I've done is I've pulled up two tabs here, guys. One is Kbeq on defense in 5v5 Grand Arena, and the other one is going to be Qui-Gon on defense in Grand Arena. Now, straight out of the gates, guys, you can see that there is not much of a difference, there you go, guys, in the win rates here. One is 77.24 and one is 84.6. Now, there is something to look at here, guys. The first one is there has been way more battles for the Qui-Gon team compared to Keller and Kbeq, who only has 55k battles. Yet Kbeq actually has a much better average banner for a defensive player than Qui-Gon, by almost 0.5, which is a decent amount. Now, guys, if we actually went and put in a Qui-Gon team, so Jedi Anakin, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and just left it at that, 74% win rate. Now, guys, that is way higher, or way better from a defensive point of view than this. Okay, and that is a big thing to be looking at. So you could see before there was still a difference, but it wasn't massive. Here it is. Now, the next thing we need to be looking at, guys, to see if it's worth doing the Omicron, whether it's worth using Qui-Gon, is ignore the win percentage here, guys. Ignore the win percentage. We're looking at average banners, and we're actually going to be looking at the... No, Kbeq's not on there, but Kbeq you can see actually appears on Qui-Gon's team. So we're going to look at the average banners, and we're actually going to look at the teams that are winning. Right? We're not looking at the teams that are losing here, guys. So JML is basically always going to win no matter the lineup. Reva is basically always going to win. GI, we'll have a look at Kbeq. I would assume there would be some small difference. Yeah, so, you know, it goes up massively in this situation, right? You then have the likes of Malgus, which is beating both. And you guys can see this is what we're looking at. You know, we're Gungans as well. So basically what we're looking at is the teams that are gonna win against both. But where are you losing out against these teams? Well, Bad Batch is here. It's got about 38% success rate. So guys, let's have a look at Bad Batch against Kbeq, and you can see it's basically the same. So where is the difference in defensive holds coming from? And it looks like it would be coming from the likes of General Skywalker, who jumps up from 50% to 80%. It looks like it's coming from GI, who goes from like a 90-ish% on his own to 97, 98%. It looks like CLS is potentially having more success against Kbeq. So guys, what we're getting at from here is Qui-Gon still does have a place in your Grand Arena teams, because clearly from a defensive point of view he's still working, and like we said guys, there is a bit of an issue where you just have to pull apart so many teams. Now the next question for you guys is it still worth applying it then? Like, you know, the Omicron and running Qui-Gon. And this will seem odd guys because of what I just said and what I just covered, but I would actually argue no. So guys, if you're someone who's not farming JMK or hasn't farmed JMK, I would honestly say skip Qui-Gon and just run a Kbeq team with his units. Now there's two reasons for this. One, I would say at the moment you're probably better farming Kbeq and farming Bo Mandalore ahead of JMK if you haven't started already. Reason being, it gets you into a good guild. I'll have a video coming out on that in the next week or so. And the second thing is, it's only 4 characters versus quite a few, and yeah, all the characters are decent. We've covered this before. But honestly, you can then run Kbeq with your basic Qui-Gon team, and the other benefit here, guys, is that will then work in territory war. Now that is the big difference for me between farming Qui-Gon, applying the Omicron, and farming Kbeq. Now Kbeq can go into a Qui-Gon team, so if you have the spare Omicrons, you have the spare resources, Qui-Gon's already done, I would say just run Qui-Gon, but with Kbeq in there, right? That makes a lot of sense. But then, you know, Kbeq doesn't really get utilized too much. But if you're someone who has to pick between the two, and none of them are geared up, I would say Kbeq is probably the better, because you doing him is going to help you in TW, because Kbeq is insane in territory war. Alright guys, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Glurmit, and as always guys, have a glurming day.